very pumped to be joined by a guy in his third full season in the USHL, his first full season with Muskegon, where he absolutely lit it up. A Clark Cup champion, a Dartmouth commit, Drew Stewart. Drew, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. It's been a fun time of year right now. So yeah, we're excited to get going and maybe do it again this year.
Yeah, you guys are coming off of a huge game two win in Dubuque. You're 3-1 in the playoffs so far, but you haven't played a game at home yet. So how excited are you guys to be back at Trinity Health Arena this weekend?
I mean, we're pumped. We started that first series on the road, so our fans are really important to us. So getting back, having those fans behind us, it's going to be a huge shift for momentum, and I think we're going to use that to our advantage. And it's just the buzz around here is great, and we're all really excited.
Would you say there's like an advantage to starting on the road though? You guys can all be together in the
Yeah.
hotel, bunch of team meals, like building up that camaraderie.
Yeah, I mean, we love it. We've been talking about that, how like we actually take that as an advantage as well. As like we're in the hotel rooms with our boys, and we're watching movies and everything, and team meals. You're with each other all the time. It's really good chemistry to build, and I think it shows on the ice too.
What would you say is the obviously we'll get into the difference between this year's team and last year's team, but the feeling of starting the playoffs with this year's group. Obviously, there's a lot of guys who moved on from last year's team, but
Mhm.
what is that feeling like, and how different is it?
Yeah, it's exciting. Like obviously we had a great year last year, but we're kind of turning the page in a sense that we don't have the same team. We know that we have different strengths and we got to play to those strengths a little bit differently than we did last year, but also taking pieces from, me and a few of the other guys that won last year and, implementing it into the team and showing them what works at this time of year.
And speaking of that too, obviously your responsibility becomes much more this year. Have you, I guess, felt super comfortable in that having to be relied upon as one of the guys, considering you're the leading scorer all year?
I mean, yeah, I feel pretty comfortable just knowing that I've been in this situation before, so it's nothing new, and I could kind of just guide people in the right direction. And I feel that responsibility, but like I appreciate it. And we say like pressure's a privilege, and we're in this situation that we feel a lot of pressure. Maybe these new guys are feeling more pressure than others, but just being comfortable in it. Like we've done it before, like we could do it again. No need to let the moment get too big, and just play our game.
How long did it take you to get comfortable last year when you came over from Cedar Rapids? I know it was only a couple games in CR, but
Yeah.
did it take you like 3 to 5 games to really find your footing with Muskegon?
I mean, yes and no. I think like a little bit of a changing period everywhere you go, but it was a super welcoming group and like really relaxed and just kind of let me do my thing. And it was really easy to just blend right in. So I don't think there was too long of a change a period, but
Mhm.
obviously there's a little bit as soon as you go from one place to another, a little change of scenery.
And if you don't mind me asking, yeah, like is that all you needed was a fresh start with the move from Cedar Rapids
Yeah,
to Muskegon?
yeah. For me, it's just a fresh start. Just getting comfortable like in the league, and for me, it's just kind of trying to find my game and what works for me. And right then, I kind of just needed a little change of scenery, a little fresh start, and it seemed to pay off for me.
How great did it feel for you personally taking them down in round one?
It feels good. It feels good to take the old team down. You definitely don't want to lose to them, but they're a great organization. They had a great year this year and last year, but playing against guys you used to play with, you obviously want to beat them. So it feels
Mhm.
good.
Was there any buddy stuff happening like in warmups and whatnot, or was it all business?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I was pretty close with Musa, so he's still there
Mhm.
from this year, and then
I'm sure he was running his
last year,
mouth.
yeah, we go at it. We're I don't know. I guess we're both smaller players, so we kind of link up in battles and stuff like that. But yeah, last year, I mean, I played with everyone, so kind of know. Hajibi was on the team last year. We were pretty close, and stuff like that. It's just kind of fun to gibber between different whistles and stuff like that.
How crazy was the summer for you? You win the Clark Cup, you commit to Dartmouth, and you're coming back to a Muskegon team, that has a new coach. And I guess the vibes are still very high, though, coming off that championship. Like, what was the feeling like for you? Were you on top of the world this summer?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes it easier when you win to just have like a really fun summer, and you can still put the work in, and you feel really good like coming back to a winning team, and you know that like you kind of have that target on your back, so you're working really hard, but you're still on top of the world knowing that you're a winner.
And the coaching change, playing for Coach St. Clair. I know The start of the year, I think, was a little bit of a struggle, right? If I remember correctly. But what have you learned from playing under him, and how close this team's really gotten throughout the season?
Yeah, I think he's unbelievable. He's a really driven, passionate person, and he came in around February last year, so we kind of had a little bit of a taste of what he'd be like, and winning last year really bonded us, especially with him and kind of those returning players. We had a really tight bond. So we were talking all summer and then kind of led into the year. And, it's a little different than what we had before. But I think, getting used to that, we were ready to kind of hit the ground running with him, like
Mhm.
talking all summer. And yeah, he's been nothing but great. I think like I said, he's super passionate. So that makes it really fun to have like minded people going for the same goal.
Does he have any unique like terminology? I know a lot of coaches are different in some of the things they say, especially like with the D zone stuff.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a lot of his own things. You know, after every sweep, comes in the comes in the locker room screaming "Winners win." It's
Mhm.
probably a big thing. So that's kind of funny. Everyone yells it out, and now we have this thing where with playoffs, we kind of have taken on this little uh, Spartan thing. So he comes in and says, "Are you not entertained?" from
Yeah, of
Gladiator. So
course. Yeah, yeah.
a few of us have had to go back and watch it. We didn't have everyone on the team who's seen it. So we've kind of been joking about that for a little bit now.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
And you're a Minnesota high school guy yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of curious to ask you about having a younger teammate now in Max Cullen, who just came from high school hockey, and what it's been like playing alongside him.
I mean, two-time state champ, Spuds. So that's
Did,
pretty cool to
did he
have them.
come in
Like,
all cocky?
no, no, he's not cocky. He's a really good kid, but yeah, it's really funny. We kind of bust him a little bit for you know thinking it's not the same, obviously, as Minnesota high
Mhm.
school. So um, yeah, we have a lot of Minnesota guys on our team actually, with me, Jack, Chris, Selski. So we kind of all have this little thing where we glaze him a little bit just because he was able to come out of it, and he beat Minnetonka, which is where I'm from, and
Mhm.
uh, Danny Clares is also from there, so we have a little bit of hate towards him, but we're happy for him.
What do you remember about making the jump yourself? And did you win a state championship? I'm not sure. I
No, I did not. I
okay.
actually lost to Barrett Dexheimer, who used to be
Yep, of
on our
course.
team, which yeah, he kind of ended my season a couple of years in a row, which is unfortunate. But
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Damn, you still hurts, huh?
yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Well, looking ahead now, we looked back, but looking ahead, congratulations on Dartmouth. I'm a huge Reed Cashman fan, like I told you before. What went into that decision? I know it was made this past summer, but
Yeah,
um, I guess you're feeling from stepping on campus and the new rink coming, or I guess
right.
renovations, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
What can you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, the coaches there, they've kind of just always really believed in me. That's kind of my biggest thing is like, I want someone that's going to give me a chance and really invest in my goals and my future. And, I'm gonna give them 100%. So I want to get 100% back. So,
Mhm.
just having them always constantly reaching out, um, just giving me feedback and stuff like that. That's really what I value most is the relationship I have with them right now. And, some guys that are there that I already know, it just seems like a great group and great place to live for 4 years, and potentially now go for a national championship.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, what a year
Yeah.
they had this year.
Yeah.
And just back to you a little bit, like what have you learned about yourself this season, both, as a player and just away from the rink?
Yeah. I think like for me, it's a lot of like just relaxing and playing.
Mhm.
That just helps build confidence. I think earlier in my years here in the USHL, I was really judgmental of myself, and I think learning to not judge every mistake or every play and just kind of going out there playing and having fun. That's really what's built confidence for me, and I think just building these relationships tighter with my teammates who are just, we're really going out there just to have fun and play the game. So I think
Mhm.
that's really where I've found the most growth is not being too tense about it.
Honestly, I was the same way as a player, man. Like
Yeah,
the self-talk is probably one of the hardest things
yeah.
to overcome as a player. Was there something or someone that you spoke to about that, or was that all from within?
Yeah, I mean, I have some people I talk to over the summer. My mom's kind of a sports psychologist in a sense, so
Mhm.
talking to her, and she's really helpful. And then we have other people. Uh, he's a sports psychologist, kind of Pierre DeBar, who's
Mhm.
really good, and we do like meditations and visualizations and stuff like that, just to kind of calm me down, relax, and make sure my self talk's positive. And so that's been really good too.
Do you have a specific saying that you tell yourself? Just kind of curious. Like, I was kind of the same way, so I wonder if you have anything similar.
Yeah, I mean, I just positive affirmations is just like, I'm capable, I'm ready for this moment, stuff like that. It's short, it's sweet, but it gets to the
Yeah.
point where I'm not thinking too much, but I'm also thinking in the right sense.
Do you have like something that you write in your stick or something before every game, or are you one of those guys?
No, I mean I have this saying called rest, but Carl Axelson and I kind of use it.
Okay.
Um, I mean I won't really get too into it. I kind of want to save it for us. Like I don't want everyone to
Fair
know
enough.
about it, but
Fair enough.
yeah, it kind of just snaps us into like this zone, and it's kind of like flipping a switch, and then we kind of really focus in on the task at hand, and it's kind of really cool that we can kind of play off each other with that, and just kind of snap into that zone.
Is the locker room more of like a goofy room before games, or are you guys dialed in and super serious?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of experimented with what works for us, I think, a little bit, and sometimes
Mhm.
it's a little too loose, and that doesn't work out. And sometimes, again, like you get too tense and you can't really play as easily. So we kind of find that balance where we're having fun, but we're still focused.
Mhm. Which kind are you? Are you like the keep to yourself before a game, or the loose, goofy one?
I think like a little bit of both. I think there's
Okay.
like a moment. It's you got to know the moment and where you're at, but I like to kind of joke around and make sure everyone's lighthearted and we're not taking it too seriously, but also if we're you know too far on the other end of the spectrum. We kind of ran it back in a little bit
Mhm.
and make sure we're still focused on the game, obviously.
My last one for you, and this one might be, guys are always a little either awkward with this one or just like don't know who to say. So I just want to
Yeah,
preface that in advance. But since you played in the league for 3 years, I'm wondering like who the hardest guy to play against was for you, or someone you just kind of like thought to yourself,
yeah.
wow, like this kid's sick.
I mean, I don't know about play against, but like I just know Tynan Lawrence
Mhm.
is he was on our team last year, and he's just a competitor. Like doesn't stop moving his feet. One of the best conditioned guys I've ever met, and he's driven, and he's obviously gonna go really high in the draft this year for that reason. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say him.
Yeah, totally good answer. And I appreciate your time today, Drew, and rooting for
Yeah,
you guys to get back to the Clark Cup. So best of luck going forward.
thank you. I really appreciate it.